Hey guys, welcome back to Voracious Living. Today I'm going to be talking to all of you about my testimony. So I have been raised in a wonderful Christian home my entire life, and I will never take that for granted. For a second, I know how blessed I am to have that as my background and my experience. However, the enemy likes to come in a lot of the times and really taint the way you view things and just speak a lot of lies to you. So I was definitely one of those overly dramatic kids. The smallest situation would just become this big explosive deal to me, which led to me getting into trouble like a lot. I would pretty much just speak before I would think, and so I would end up lying a lot, being disrespectful, just all the things. There would be sometimes at night where I would go to bed and I'd think to myself like, you know what, you only got in trouble once today. That's not too bad. That just kind of puts into perspective for you that I was kind of not the easiest child. My mom and I, at least once a week for about a year, would have these big confrontations that would extend for sometimes hours, because I would say something about myself to someone else, anything like that, and she would just be like, okay, there's an issue here and we're gonna go deal with it now. And in the moment, it was kind of the worst, but now thinking back on it, I am so thankful. Sometimes my mom, she would just be like, you know what, I'm gonna leave you here and I'm gonna come back in a half an hour and I want you to talk to God and see what he reveals to you. And every time she did that, I would always kind of roll my eyes and be annoyed, but he always did reveal something to me, and I always left feeling so much better and like I had this new revelation in my mind. And the weeks that would follow, I would feel like I changed, I would feel good about myself, all of these new truths that were just revealed to me, and then I would slowly go back to my old ways, and it became this exhausting cycle. I started to really feel like I was trapped, and this is when anxiety started to kind of come in, the first time I really felt anxiety. And I remember some nights I wouldn't be able to sleep at all because I just had this gnawing feeling in my stomach that wouldn't go away. And there would be some days where I would get sick from it and I'd try to go throw up because I didn't know why I felt this way. I felt sick and I couldn't find out the reason why. And then depression decided to come in. There'd be days I'd lay down all day and I couldn't do anything and I couldn't get myself to do anything. And it was just this like helpless feeling where it's like I knew what I felt wasn't from God, but I didn't know how to fix it, and I didn't know almost like any other way of living. Like that just became so normal to me, not being able to sleep at night, not having the will to do anything during the day. It was just this ongoing cycle, and I didn't know what it was that I could do to fix it. I came to the conclusion that I just needed some personal stability. So I needed to find something that would make me feel like I had at least one thing together. And there was one thing I could control, and that was how I looked. So I began to fixate about how I looked, trying to be stylish, because I felt like if I at least looked good, people might actually believe that I had my life together. So it was just kind of this like masquerade, just to kind of hide everything that was going on inside. But all this ended up doing was lead me down a path of comparison and confusion, as I would then compare myself to the next girl and think I'm not as pretty. It obviously didn't help, and it didn't fix what I thought it would. So one day I saw a movie or saw a picture of this girl on Pinterest. I don't really remember which one. And the one thing that she had that was different from everyone else was bangs. And so I came to the brilliant conclusion in my little head up here that if I cut bangs, I would somehow be just as beautiful as her. Not it. No, that was not the move. I looked 10 times worse. So then this led to another little breakdown of mine, and my mom talked to me again, and she had me go to a super like quiet, secluded place and she told me to take out a pen and a paper and write down what I thought that God was saying over me. I did it, but I kind of did it like with my eyes rolling. I was like, God's not going to talk to me. He doesn't talk to me. I have tried to reach out to him. Nothing's worked. And that is when I actually heard God speak to me. But it was in this way that I don't know if I can really describe, but I had this total calm and like peace overtake my body. And like at this time, guys, like I constantly had anxiety all the time, and I like didn't in this moment. I didn't have anxiety anymore, and this peace just like rushed over my body. I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it. And I got goosebumps then, and it was just like this moment where it was like this feeling, and like I just knew that he loved me. Like there was just this knowing, and I'm gonna cry. Anyways, I just knew that he loved me, and I started writing down, and it was this poem, I guess, from God to me. And I knew that it had to be God because it was nice things he was saying about me on that piece of paper, and I hadn't said anything nice about myself for years at that point. I just didn't. I remember one night I was laying in bed, and I just remember verbally, like out loud, probably woke my siblings up, I don't know, just saying to God that I chose to live my life with him, and that I didn't want to do it apart from him because life without him was so much more miserable. It was really in that moment too that I think I fully gave my life to God, because I had done it at a young age, but this is when I really like realized the importance of having God in your life and like really choosing him. So really then that I realized that my identity fully belonged to God, and that my performance has nothing to do with my acceptance, that no matter what I did, no matter how many times I messed up, God still loved me and fully wanted to be with me. But here's the thing, I still messed up, I still had those habits, but I knew that they weren't as big of a deal as I had originally thought they were. The moment that I realized that my identity was fully found in God and not in my actions and not what I do, it was that moment where I realized that when I messed up, like it doesn't have to be the biggest deal ever. And when I realized that, I would obviously still do it, I would still get in trouble, but my identity wasn't wrapped up in that moment. And I knew that I can now just learn from this mistake, and that I'm gonna accelerate upon it, and I'm gonna get better, and I'm gonna start making that change. I really realized that God was always talking to me, and that he delighted to give me the desires of my heart. And so that really just gave me the joy I needed, as I had one answered prayer after another. And so I just really want to encourage you in that God is always talking to you, and that he always wants to give you the desires of your heart, because he put them there for a reason and for a purpose. I am honestly just so thankful to be where I am today. I wouldn't, without this encounter, without these experiences, I would definitely still be fighting myself. I don't have to be perfect to be made perfect by the blood of Jesus, and that is honestly the biggest thing that I took away from this experience. And I just want to say that if you can relate to anything that I felt or any of this experience at all, just know that if God does it once, he can do it again, and that he wants to do this in your life. So if you're dealing with depression and anxiety and any other thing that I listed in this testimony, I want to bless you with everything that God revealed to me through this encounter and this experience, and that if he can do it once, he's gonna do it again, and he wants to do it again in your life. I hope you know how incredible you are, and how much God absolutely adores you with his entire heart, and that nothing that you can do is ever going to take that away, and that your performance has nothing to do with your identity. Your identity is fully in God, and God thinks that you're incredible. Know that he's never stopped pursuing you since the day that you were born, and that he wants a relationship with you, and that he wants to talk with you, and all you have to do is open your heart to it. So if you have any questions on that, just please reach out to me, and I would love to talk with you. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any questions or comments, just feel free to go to the contact me page on my website and send me an email. I would love to talk with you. And if you're watching this on YouTube, just leave a comment below if you have a question, or if you just want to say something, go for it. It's all yours. Also, you should subscribe to my blog. It is a monthly blog, and if you subscribe, just put in your email, and then I'll send you an email that will just notify you when I release more videos and content. So definitely do that. You will be missing out if you don't. So, I mean, anyways, thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope you have a wonderful day.